Warning, this video contains spoilers of Smile 1 and 2. So if you haven't seen them, come back after you've watched them. I ended up watching Smile 1 and 2. So I don't know why y'all talk so much smack about Smile, because so many people were like, don't watch Smile, it's not that great. And I actually liked it. That movie was creepy as hell. Imagine you just minding your business and all of a sudden somebody's like, that would freak me the hell out. Also, how do you get a job smiling at people? What was that audition process like? You come in and they're like, okay, so all we want is for you to smile. And you're like, and they're like, no, a little more creepy. And you're like, and they're like, no, a little less comic, a little more terrifying. You're like, and they're like, no, how about a little more deadpan? Tilt your head down a little bit. You're like, and they're like, that's it. And then they call you, your agent calls you a couple of days later, like, oh my God, you just booked the job. And then they send you the script. And you're like, so what are my lines? And they're like, you don't have any lines. You're just standing there like this. Acting is wild. And for the promo, how did those people get that job? How do you get a job standing at a baseball game facing the crowd? Like, I just want to know. So, casting directors, if you're watching this, all of that was my audition for Smile 3. But let's get into the movie. Smile 1 was actually way more sinister and creepy to me. And it was like more introductory to what the thing was. And I thought it was really interesting that the psychiatrist actually got afflicted with it. I thought that part 1 was way scarier than part 2. I guess because part 1 was more relatable because it was happening to like regular people. And then part 2 was happening to like this superstar. And I guess maybe I can't relate to a superstar. I've never been there. Also, part 2 was a little confusing for me because it was hard for me to differentiate what was real and what wasn't. And I guess maybe that was the goal of the movie, to confuse the viewer the same way the girl in the movie was confused. Because, like, did her mother die, or was that in her imagination? Because, like, that whole scenario from, like, the part where her mother took herself out all the way up into the part where she went to that guy for help. And then she ended up performing at a concert. Like, how the hell did she get to a concert? When did that happen? How did that happen? Did that happen? That was very confusing. So the end confused me. I feel like part 1 was more clear. Like, I understood what I just watched. When it went off, I wasn't like, I didn't really have questions. Whereas part 2, I had questions. So I liked part 1 better. The only part from part 2 that I really liked was when the creeps were playing red light, green light with her. That part was kind of funny. Yo, one part of Smile 2 cracked me up. The Staten Island shade.
I need to get to Staten Island. What? Gross. Why?
Yo, Staten Island be getting hit from every which way. Why y'all hate Staten Island so much? Everybody in New York seems to hate Staten Island, and it's so sad. Like, the Wu-Tang Clan tried really hard to put Staten Island on the map, but they still be getting hate. I'll say part 1 was way creepier and scarier. Part 2 was just interesting. I give Smile part 1 7 out of 10 ghosts. And I give Smile part 2 a 6 out of 10 ghosts. I'm not sure what I'm going to watch tonight, so if you have suggestions, drop them in the comments. Lately, I haven't been too sure what I'm going to watch. I have ideas, but I don't want to say that I'm going to watch that and then have to commit to it, because sometimes I change my mind at the last minute. So I'm just going to figure it out, and you'll be surprised tomorrow.